What is happening? Today, I want to talk about this topic of facing what we feel to heal. Feel it to heal it. And I was just on my morning walk and it just hit me like, wow, I've been in chronic back pain for 6 years. And in the past 2 months, realizing that I have what is called TMS, which is mind body syndrome. And that is the brain creating pain in the body to distract you from emotions. And really, the only way to heal TMS is to face the emotions, allow it, process it. And that is what heals the physical symptoms. And it hit me today. I'm just like, wow, the physical pain that you feel, it is, well, there's different ways you can approach the pain. You can fight it. And that is what I've been doing for the last 6 years of fighting and trying to make it go away. And because I didn't know, I thought this was a physical thing. So I was fighting back pretty much. And whenever I'd get a symptom, something would rise, I'd get all worried and scared and do anything to try to make it go away. And you're testing your back and you're moving and it controls your life. And that is fighting. And then there's freezing, which is you stop your life because of the fear of what the symptoms are, of what they mean. So you're worried, and I've been in worry for the last 6 years of how did this happen to me? Am I going to be in back pain for the rest of my life? How do I get over this? And there's no clear answers in the physical world of dealing with chronic pain. And so that's kind of freezing. Fleeing is you're trying to distract, you're trying to run away from the problem. You don't acknowledge what is really there. You're in pain, but you're pushing it underneath the surface. You're just trying to run away. Maybe you're numbing it, which I definitely did. When I would drink, the pain would subside and I'd forget about it for a while and then it'd be worse the next day. Distracting yourself from it in negative ways. That's fleeing. The only way to heal is to face it, to allow it, to embrace it. And what does that mean? So on this walk today, I was like, wow, to feel, now that I know that it's a psychological thing, it's the brain using physical pain to distract me from my emotions and from my childhood, my past, and it's a lot of stuff that I've been processing for the last 2 months. And it's just the beginning of, a much greater journey of self-discovery and processing my life. But if it wasn't for this pain, the physical symptoms, I would not be doing this work. And now when I feel the symptoms, it causes me to ask myself, okay, what emotion am I feeling right now? Let's dive deeper into that. Let's journal about it or try to understand what I'm actually feeling. It causes you to look at the symptoms and look at yourself directly and say, what is actually going on? I can't just brush this under the rug or else I'm going to be in pain. And if you don't have that, we'll go our whole lives lying to ourselves about what we're feeling and who we are. So I consider the pain an absolute gift because it's making me do this work and realizing that the only way to heal is to face. And that, it stands for so much more in life. Like what I'm learning now is just, it's not only healing the back pain, but it is going to change who I am for the rest of my life and the way that I interact with myself and the world. Think about it. Our problems, no life is without problems, but the only way to get through them is by facing them. We can brush aside our problems for our entire lives, and underneath the surface, it creates this tension. Because while in our conscious mind, maybe we try to forget about it, we put it behind us. I've definitely done that. that pain still lives in our unconscious. And maybe we have dreams about certain things and they're showing up as symbols, or a monster in our dream is represents something that we're maybe running from in life. Like one of my themes of my dreams was running for the last 6 years. Maybe before that, but I don't really remember. But I just know that that's been a constant theme in my dreams of me I'm just running far, and I'm jumping over things, and I'm running from somebody, usually like terrorists or just like people trying to get me. I'm just exhausted in the dream. I'm just running, running. And since started this work, I've not had that dream in a while. And I realized this today. I'm like, wow, I think because now I'm not running from myself anymore. And it's crazy because, like, I don't know how it had to happen like this. I don't know how it would have, like, had this great awakening sooner. I don't know if I was ready, but it's wild. Like, in my dream last night, I dreamed that my ex girlfriend was there, my one of my best friends from childhood, my brother, like his friend, just like all these like significant figures of my childhood were all in this dream together. I'm like, what the hell is that? I didn't even think about it, but I was talking to my mom like an hour ago. She's like, yeah, you're processing your childhood. Like, wow, yeah, that's exactly what's happening. The unconscious is an unbelievable place. What happens in our dreams? 95% of who we are is in our unconscious, just this ocean of information. And we're just consciously aware of 5% of what makes us us. And it's beautiful and it's fascinating. And there's so much to unpack in our own story. But what I want to drive home here is that there's no faking it in life, because what we maybe are hiding from ourselves, or maybe what we're hiding from others, that we're trying to look a certain way, we're trying to project this type of person that we are, or we all wear masks, but we can't lie to ourselves. And I think the only thing that matters in life, well, it's a hell of a statement. Maybe the most important thing is just peace within ourselves, because everything emanates from there. The successful relationships, career, joy, it all starts with peace and an understanding of who we are inside. Because, like I said, no life is without problems, but that gives you the solid base to confront them and understand them and move through them. This is not the last challenge I'm going to face in life, but now I'm learning. Now that I have an understanding of who I am and how I do things and see the world and where I've been, I can better understand how to face these problems. And like I just said, it's by facing them. By facing them. So if I have like, some back pain, I'm like, okay, and I don't want to steal my TMS coach's process, but it's just like it's so powerful. He uses these 5 approaches. His name is Jim Prusak, the Pain PT on YouTube. It's the man. I watch his videos every day, and had my first session with him a week ago. Changed my life for sure. But the first step is just like, what is this? Asking yourself, what is this? If you feel something, realizing, oh, this is TMS. It's just an emotion. So what emotion is this? Am I worried right now? Am I angry? Am I sad? Am I anxious? And kind of driving into what specifically that emotion is. And then like, okay, wow, I actually am feeling this. And often, if you're like angry about the physical symptom, that emotion is underneath the surface already. But the brain is using that physical symptom as a way to make you aware of that emotion. So it's like this fucking back pain. I can't believe it anymore. Like, I'm so over this. Can't take the shit. Like, that is anger towards the back pain. But then it's like, okay, what is this I'm actually angry about? What am I angry about? Oh, wow. Yeah, this happened or this. So the first step is labeling what is actually there. What is this? Second step is relaxing. And he teaches great relaxation methods, relaxing the whole body from head to the toes, and very helpful. It's all about relaxing the nervous system and just calming down, getting out of the fight or flight state. The third most crucial step is to allow in what you're feeling, and that is to face it. That is to embrace it. So, I'm angry. Yeah, I'm fucking angry. Let's go. What am I angry about? Let's figure this out instead of, running, maybe fleeing, like, oh, I'm not angry. And I could feel personally if I'm angry and I'm trying to just like lie to myself, I feel like heat in my body, just like boiling up. And I've told myself, like, I try to be a calm and peaceful and joyful person, but I definitely feel anger. And that is a part of understanding why TMS has kind of taken over my life for the past 6 years, is maybe not acknowledging that anger, pushing it down. And that's anger from childhood. That's anger from just life in general. Just like I said, this shit ain't easy. And so when you understand, you allow the emotions, allow it in, because if you allow it, that's the only way it's going to move through you. If you keep trying to push it away and run from it, it's just chasing you. Invite it in. Jim says, give it the green light. Say, come on in. I know what you are. You can't harm me. You're just an emotion. Let's see it. Let's see what you got. Let's see what you are. So the third step is to allow it. Feel it. Allow yourself to feel. And that, it's a liberating feeling. It is liberating. Like Dr. John Sarno, who's kind of the pioneer of TMS, his 3 main books, gave me the foundation of understanding what's going on here. Healing Back Pain, The Mind-Body Prescription, and Divided Mind. And he says you're supposed to kind of fight the feeling. Like, when you get the sensations in your body, you're supposed to say, like, no, tell your brain, like, I'm not going to take this anymore. I know what you are. I'm done. I'm sick of this. But that's kind of exhausting, to always be fighting yourself and like fighting the symptoms off. I like Jim's approach much more, of allowing it in. And because that's doing the opposite of what your brain has been doing for however long you've been in pain. Every time for the past 6 years pain would come, I'd either fight it, I'd run, try to distract, or I'd fear it. I'd be in worry, in this freeze state. And the brain is so used to that. It's a chemical addiction in our body. And now I'm doing the opposite of saying, come on in. You got the green light. Whatever you got to do, do. Embrace it. Embrace the feeling. And it's liberating, because it's like just taking a breath and saying, I don't have to do anything. I don't have to put up, these fists and fight back. It's like, just come on in. And the brain's like, the fuck? Like, whoa, I haven't seen this before. All right. Because what you're trying to do to heal is tell your brain that these things are fine. These emotions are okay. That these symptoms, these sensations are okay. And that eventually, once it gets that message, that is when the sensations start to lift and you get out of pain. So allow it. Allow it in. And that's the theme of today. Face it. Face what you are feeling. Feel it to heal it. Let it come through you. Process it. The fourth is, then you avert your attention to something else, because you don't want to just focus on the sensations. That's what makes it worse. You want to acknowledge them, bring them in, whatever you want to do. It's okay. I know I'm just worried about this thing. Okay. Now I actually understand that. That's better than where I was, which was in this kind of um, I don't know, the state of neither here nor there, purgatory of like, what do I feel? I don't know. I'm just running. It's like, no, I know I'm worried about this presentation coming up. It's fine. It's going to be all right. Now that I know I'm just worried and that's why I'm feeling these things in my body, I can allow those feelings to pass through me. All emotions are okay. And it's liberating. I'm telling you, like, it is exciting to realize that this is what's going on. And it could be anything going on in your body that you're feeling. Like, you know, knee pain, neck pain, back pain, face pain, arm and legs, like growing pains and stomach pains, ulcers. This is all TMS. If you can't really understand it, if the doctors don't know what it is, if there's no real, if it comes on suddenly, like these things, these are emotions. And it's just wild to finally be seeing this. And so the fourth step, once you understand what it is do something else. Distract yourself in a positive way. You realize what it is, but then you got to just move on with life. You got to keep living. So that's the fifth step is live. Get back to everything you're doing. Get back to working out if this is taking away exercise for you. Get back to living life. That's it. So feel it to heal it. You got to face what we feel in life. It is, I can't explain enough just like what it feels like to be processing who I am, to be understanding it just by talking, like why I'm doing this. It's for a way for me to understand it. We go our whole lives with so much information stored in our body of our past, our childhood, our traumas, our hurt. And that's all in there. And we're just thinking all day about all these things, and none of it has anywhere to go. It's just constant rumination. And we think that, like, I think about these things, oh, I solved this problem or whatever, and like the information leaves. It has to physically leave your body through journaling or through talking. And do this, honestly. Like, if you don't go to therapy or you don't like journaling, set up a camera, I'm just using my phone here, and just talk so you don't feel like you're just crazy talking to yourself in a room with no camera or anything, which is actually what I'm doing. But it's therapeutic, I'm telling you. Or take a walk and just do a voice recording and just talk it out. It feels so good to get this stuff out, and it helps you map out what you're actually feeling in your mind. And if you want to take the next step, therapy has been an absolute game changer for me to see the patterns in yourself. And then obviously the therapist helps you see those patterns and to flesh out, you know, everything you're feeling. And maybe like one day you're fleshing out some stuff over here that doesn't make too much sense yet. And then the other day, flesh out stuff over here. And then eventually, like, you realize that there's this web of that's made who you are that you haven't been able to see because it's stored inside of you. But then you get it out into the world, and it's like, oh my God, this makes so much sense. And that is what releases the tension in your body. And four, just to, my back pain is going away. The back pain. I don't like to call it mine. I'm feeling better than I've felt in months, years. I'm back to working out hard in the gym. And I don't know if you could hear it. The last 2 weeks, I've had a sinus thing going on that's like really annoying. And right when I got it, the back sensations that I was feeling went away. And it's called the symptom imperative, where the symptoms will move in your body as you're healing. And so say you treat the back pain, or say you don't know this is TMS yet, and you fix your back pain um, in one way, but then if you don't actually get to the root of the problem, it will move into another part of your body. So then maybe you have knee pain or neck pain. You're like, what the fuck? Like, where did this come from? That's because there's this energy inside of you that's moving from place to place. Until you dissolve that energy, it's just going to keep moving. And that's what surgery is, placebo effect, where it makes you think that the thing is solved, but then it'll come back a different way, or it'll just come back. And then, you think you need more and more. The healing is inside of us. The healing is just understanding ourselves. And what's so cool about this, you don't necessarily need to, we're never fully healed. We never fully understand ourselves. We are great mysteries. But just by engaging in this process, you heal. You don't need to solve a puzzle. You don't need to find the right key, to use another metaphor, but just by understanding what's going on, by seeing the process, by seeing that you are a puzzle, that just by seeing it, instead of trying to solve it, by seeing it and then be like, okay, wow, I could actually understand myself a little bit better. That is what heals. And then you start this lifelong process of wanting to understand yourself better. And it is the most enriching, challenging, beautiful, scary, exciting experience you could have. Things will come up that you did not expect. You'll learn things about yourself. You'll process some dark stuff. You have to confront some demons. And I have already, and I know there's more to come. But it's like, wow, now I actually see myself. The image is so much more clear. And what I was saying about the sinus thing, I think it is the symptom imperative of the back pain is like, I'm in virtually no pain. And I got this annoying sinus thing. I'm like, okay, what is this? It's been 2 weeks. That's kind of a long time if it was just like a common cold. So I'm like, what emotions am I feeling towards this? Definitely very frustrated. It's like just annoying. I'm angry about it. I'm a little worried. I'm like, what does this mean? Do I have a sinus infection? Do I have to? And kind of taking the TMS approach to it, it feels like something's stuck in me, like stuck in my throat or like stuck in my sinuses. Like it feels clear, but it's a doctor's visit. But it's like, and I'm like, wow, is that, what does that kind of signify? Am I stuck in this process? Like, there's energy, I think, that's stuck in me, and it's going up to my sinuses. And it's called the extinction burst. I think before you reach the end and truly turn the page, things will flare up. And oftentimes things will have to get worse before they get better. That's a good sign. So if it continues for another, few days, maybe I'll go to the doctor and just make sure it's not a sinus infection. But I see treating this as TMS can only be helpful of facing it. I'm facing what it is. I'm facing that I'm frustrated and mad and annoyed about it. And then I'm allowing it to pass through me. And okay, I got to keep living my life, whatever. That's an tidbit, but I think it's interesting, that just looking at ourselves in a different way of how am I feeling stuck? What do I still need to let go of to let go of this? And it's just fascinating. So if you could take anything away from this, I want to drill home the point. We must face it, face what we feel. In all of life, Write it down. Journal. What are you feeling? Face it. Embrace it. Embrace this human, wild experience. It's the only way it'll pass through us. None of us gets out of this unscathed. We're going to take some bumps and bruises along the way, but if we keep facing this stuff, we'll make it. We'll make it. And we got each other. Okay. It doesn't need to be more complex than that. Surrender and face what you feel. Much love.